In recent times, there has been a lot of buzz about China's new generation bomber, the Boom 20, and judging from online rumors, the Boom May 20th actually be coming. As a bomber with stealth capability, military fans are bound to be very concerned about the progress of the Boom 20. But while focusing on the Boom 20, let's not ignore another bomber in China. It is the Chinese Boom 6 series. So with the 6 Master called Boom 6 series, its real combat power in the end how? In modern warfare, is there still a place for the Boom 6 series? The next content led us to find out. Boom 6 first appeared in the National Parade was in 1984. This time the National Day Parade is the largest after the establishment of New China, the best equipped one. Fully demonstrated the country's national defense force and the spirit of the People's Liberation Army, strengthened the national prestige, showing the military prestige. 18 Boom 6 bomber formation flew over Tiananmen Square. Boom 6 was commissioned in 1969. So far it has been 52 years. To the present, Boom 6 is still in a large number of equipment and continue to upgrade and improve Boom 6 in the end. What is awesome? What's so great about the Boom 6 that it has been guarding China's territory for 50 years? Boom 6 was originally a reference to the Soviet Union's medium-sized jet bomber Figure 16 development. The original Harbin aircraft manufacturing plant began to copy the use of imported loose assembly Figure 16 bomber. According to the information provided by the Soviet Union, the construction of the first aircraft, known as the Boom 6, but in fact, it is a Chinese assembly of the Figure 16, and the campaign period of the destruction of the industrial R&D in production, the original Hefei aircraft room. The Figure 16 program was then transferred to Shifei. So the tasks originally shared by Hefei and Shifei were all undertaken by Shifei. Boom 6 at that time is China's trial production of the largest tonnage of aircraft. The whole machine has many parts, complex structure, high technical difficulty. The workload is also large in the process of manufacturing. To make up for the Soviet Union did not provide the strength of the calculations in overcoming a number of key technologies, but also in the Boom 6. The application of a number of new technologies on the real meaning of China to change the Boom 6 in 1966 was completed and then used in the static test. To 1968, the Boom 6 equipped with a domestic turbojet 8-engine successful first flight, such a success to make the national excitement. To 1969, the Boom 6 successful service and batch production, the localization of the Boom 6 bomber test production success. China has also succeeded in the end of the cannot make the history of the medium-sized bomber. After all, at that time the performance of the Tu-16 was already at a backward stage, and the Boom 6, which was improved according to the Tu-16, though improved, was still backward compared to the international level. So the Boom 6A was developed, and the Boom 6B medium-range reconnaissance aircraft was developed later. Then in 1975, the Boom 6C began to demonstrate. In 1977 began to develop, on the basis of the previous, added electronic jamming, electronic reconnaissance, electronic vigilance, but also can be dropped metal wire or foil, which enhances the Boom 6's self-defense capabilities. This is just the beginning. So far, the Boom 6 has had more than 10 kinds of modifications, including electronic jamming aircraft, electronic reconnaissance aircraft, etc., as well as the naval version of the anti-ship modified version. To say the latest modification is the Boom 6K and Boom 6G. From the English letters, we can almost know the Boom 6 changed how many types. If the most famous, have to mention the Boom 6K. The reason for the development of the Boom 6K, mainly to change the original Boom 6 problems. As we all know, the Boom 6 has been a short leg, less bombs, not far to see, and hit the inaccuracy of the problem. These defects in the future combat will be embodied, and due to the domestic air-launched Long Sword 10 cruise missiles continue to improve, the Boom 6 has not been able to carry and launch these missiles, which will become a major problem, equal to the lack of a huge combat power. In order to ameliorate these problems, and to meet the urgent need for emergency operations against Taiwan, as well as the need to strike targets in the eastern part of the island, a major overhaul of the Boom 6 has become a necessity. So speed up the development progress, and Boom 6 main bearing structure does not do a major change. Only for the change of hair on the intake channel, tail spray to do targeted redesign and repair shape, but also on the main wing and tail aerodynamic matching to do the appropriate adjustments to meet the engine intake to increase and will also be the original old electronic equipment to do the replacement of all the newest electronic equipment, and also coated with stealth paint. After a series of improvements, we now see the Boom 6K, although it is improved by the Boom 6, but there has been a big difference. In order to be able to carry advanced domestic missiles, Boom 6 for additional cruise missile modification under the wing to increase the external mounting points, so that it is able to mount 6 long Sword 10 cruise missiles or KD-88 air-to-ground missiles. The maximum payload has reached 15 tons, which improves the density of a single aircraft in a single fire attack, and also changed the content of the internal silo to a large removable tanks composed of fuel tanks, so that he will be able to mount the drill and drill bombs, as well as a large fuel tank. The ability to choose between mounted drill bombs and fuel tanks, as required, has improved air-to-ground strike capability overall, as well as meeting the needs of other missions. Furthermore, it improves the fuel-saving performance and range by replacing the D30KP2 turbofan engine, which has the characteristics of low fuel consumption and lightweight. And to replace the engine, it is not a direct replacement of the engine, but rather the intake tract, tail spray, and so on should be targeted to redesign and repair the shape of the engine after the engine is replaced. The improvement is also very obvious. The thrust has increased by 30%, and the fuel consumption has been reduced by 20%. In addition, the shape of the Boom 6K has obviously changed. The aircraft's forward fuselage has been redesigned, can be seen to become narrower and shorter. The nose has been replaced with a fully enclosed streamlined fairing, more equipped with a new type of fire control radar and search radar, but also retrofitted with GPS and Compass/Beidou satellite navigation system and the standard data link system. In order to ensure that the safety of the surprise defense, the Boom 6 on the gun turret, all have been canceled. The tail of the radio operator cabin was also canceled, replaced by an electronic cabin, replaced by a new type of active and passive high-power electronic jamming equipment, so to speak, as far as possible, have been replaced by the latest electronic equipment. In addition, the Boom 6K has improved the applicability of piloting. The Boom 6K has a crew of 4, 2 in each platoon, all of which are arranged in the nose, divided into the pilot, co-pilot, electronic warfare communications officer, and bombardier, and all of which are fitted with independent ejector seats. Furthermore, it also replaced the integrated avionics system and glass cockpit, including electronic flight, inertial guidance, external management, which can be said to be very advanced, but also the first time to use the integrated navigation and fire control system. And the previous Boom 6 then has been successfully transformed. Some foreign media said that it may become a strategic bomber. And now the Boom 6 is able to protect the homeland better, so that other countries do not dare to slow down.